As Cornelius Vanderbilt said, who became the richest man in the world, he said, always be the owner, never be the minion. You're a fucking king. You're a fucking queen. Don't ever, ever bow the knee. Somebody else. And here's a brother who will not bow the knee. So, guys, with a huge Yes Masters boom, let's welcome to the stage my friend, Mr. Jose Contreras. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Coming up, bro. You look good on black. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Laying on him.
Do me a favor, stand up, just 10 seconds. I know we're close to lunch and I don't want you guys to judge me. Why is he wearing everything that Kevin is wearing? But he's got more hair than him, so let's do a huge boom 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Boom! 1, 2, 3. Boom! 1, 2, 3. Boom! Thank you. I want to come to you and introduce myself, Jose.
Marcus.
I feel with you and I'm with you.
Thank you.
I want you to know that.
Thank you.
I'm with you, bro. Thank you for sharing what you shared with us.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
I'm with you. Thank you for sharing your frustration yesterday.
Thank you.
I feel you. You, my man, you made me cry. And you made a bunch of people cry. And I appreciate you for that. Because all of you guys have been able to see that banana. I just saw that right now, so that was my analogy. And we're peeling everything off at the same time. Take a seat. I don't want you guys to get tired. And as we're peeling off all these breakthroughs that we're having with Kevin since yesterday, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. Maruk, thank you for that idea. I'm like, fuck everything that I was going to talk about. I'm just going to say what comes out of my heart. And as I'm listening to Kevin, it's just giving me a realization that we're never certain of what we want. There's always going to be confusion. There's always going to be weaknesses that come to us. And you might look at me and say, well, that guy's sitting in that corner of the table, and I don't want to talk to him because he looks too cool. Now with the black suit, he looks even better. But we're all the same. We're all in the same spot as you guys are. I might have performed better in the last couple of years, but mentally, I'm with you guys. Yesterday, I felt like I was not deserving to be in that table. I felt like I needed to be here. I always sit in the front lines when I was looking at Kevin's events. Every time I will attend to his events, I like to be in the front because that's how I grasp a lot of the things that he will say. I was telling my wife yesterday, everyone, this is my wife. Babe, can you come over here real quick? I want to show you off how beautiful you are. This lady right here, she's my queen, my inspiration. She's the tool that keeps finding this little piece of rock and trying to make this diamond shine. So I want to thank you for that, baby. This is Rebecca. This is the one person that I always say, babe, we got to go back to these Kevin's events. We got to go back. I know you might be tired of me paying thousands of dollars to this guy, but I know you believe in me, and I want to thank you for that. Thank you for trusting in me. Thank you for being here today. Yesterday, I was with Alex, and I said, hey, bro, we're going to have that dinner? He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. Where are you? 15 minutes away. Just stay for a little bit. Don't get nervous. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I need a nanny. We always talk about having on our never do again list. We actually said that we were pretty impressed. Last event with Kevin in North Carolina, we were working on our never do again list. The list went from 25 things that we never wanted to do down to 3. And I feel like I punished myself too much, but I'm like, babe, we've done so much. Don't you think?
I agree.
We've done so much, but I said, you know what? The whole nanny situation has to stop. We got to figure that out. I called our nanny. She was in Tijuana, Mexico, and I tell her, do whatever the fuck you need to do. Cross the border today. There's an Amtrak at 7 o'clock that leaves from San Diego, and it will drop you in Simi Valley at 11:55 p.m. Are you sure you want me to do that? Yes. She figured out how to get there. She crossed the border.
She's good. She's good.
She's amazing and moving fast. because of her and making that decision, I wanted her to be here today, and that's why my wife is here, so that she can be able to pick up our kids from school. And having her here just fills me up like you have no idea. So I want to thank you for that, babe.
I'm glad I'm here.
Te quiero mucho, ahora.
Yeah, do a boom. I need a boom.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. You rock.
Julia Rogel. Está en
So-
la casa.
It was 3 weeks ago, I get a call. And this call, it was mainly in Spanish with a lot of cussing and a lot of going along. And he says, in the most PG way, "Hey dude, what's up? What do you need now? I want to buy 10 hangars at the nearest airport. I need you to help me." I'm like, 10 hangars? I've never done anything like that. What the heck? Like, how do you want me to help you out? Well, I don't know how it works, but we need to buy these 10 hangars, and you're my realtor, and I need you to help me out. I'm like, Lalo, I have no idea how to figure out how to deal with the purchase of 10 hangars. How much are we talking about? This fucker wants $5 million, but I am offering him 4.5 all cash and all clears in 10 days. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, I've never done such a thing like this. This was at 10 o'clock at night. We were having dinner at home. Rebecca puts the kids to sleep, and I'm like, I gotta figure it out. Even if I'm not gonna help him out, I need to find out who can help me with this. So I'm looking aviation brokers, and then I get distracted. There's this website that you can actually buy ranches with landing strips, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta show this to Kevin at some point. So I found this broker in Arizona. I send him an email. That night, he sends me an email back and says, don't worry, I can help you. How much commission are you getting? Normally, I'll take 25% out of that. Let's talk tomorrow, man, because there's no commission on this thing. So next morning, I talked to this guy, and he's like, what do you mean there's no commission? Well, the situation is this. A client of mine, he has this helicopter and a plane, and he's renting from this guy who's retiring. And the guy in a conversation that said, you want me to sell you all my 10 hangars? I'll sell them all to you for $5 million. I don't want no broker, only you deal with my attorney. So my client is like, so how do we work this out? I'm like, dude, don't pay me nothing. Let me just reach out to this broker who said he's willing to do it, but he wants 25% of what I make. I'm not gonna tell him that you're gonna charge me $1,000 and I'm just gonna refer him $250. Why don't we do this? Let's have him put a number to help you deal with the transaction. So he's like, Jose, and you're not gonna make anything? I'm like, don't worry about it. I want you to get those 10 hangars. I'll lease those fucking hangars for you. I'll figure it out. We'll make money in some other way. Long story short, last week, I got this broker for a small fee, decided to help my client to put an LOI in making an offer for these 10 hangars. The funniest thing of all is that I was so desperate that I couldn't even last 7 days waiting for this guy to put the LOI together, that I put the LOI myself. I sent it to him by email and I said, hey dude, I know you're working on your LOI, but this is the last LOI that I used on another purchase that my client did for $4 million. Just put all the lingo regarding the aviation stuff that we gotta look into the contingency factor, and then we'll figure it out. The next morning, he's like, thank you so much. I just added 5 paragraphs to your LOI. I'm like, mother, and he's charging you $6,000 for that? So anyways, I said, you know what? That is the cost of doing business. I want him to walk away, my client, to be in a position where he can make a valid offer and he can be sustained and we can be able to walk away if anything bad were to happen. So we present the LOI, something shady is happening. The attorney who's representing the seller wants to buy him from him. So we talked to the broker again. Dude, can you do a quick CMA on this thing? How does it work? I mean, I know it's a ground lease, and you're literally selling the time of the ground lease over to the new buyer, and there is renewals on that. So the guy says, whatever you do, get those things. Even if you have to pay $5 million, pay him. And if you say you're all cash, man, pay him. So here I am, a guy who's not making a dime on this transaction. And then this guy is telling him, pay $5 million for it all cash because you still can have a 10% cap rate on that thing. So my client is doing everything he can. 2 days ago, we get the news. The seller says, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sell them to you. I owe so much to this attorney that his way of compensating is pay me with the hangars. He went through a divorce. Wow. He's done a lot of things for this guy as a client, so he owes him the money. So we might miss on this opportunity. But all this time, my wife is saying, you see, babe, Sometimes you just give so much information for free to people and you're not making any money on this transaction. That has to change. And I said, you know what, you're right. I've been with a scarcity mindset the last couple of months, to be honest with you. And I will tell you why. There's been fun parts behind that. And I said, you know what, babe? It is what it is. Sometimes you got to give some and you'll get some. I'm a true believer that when you act in good faith, people will see that in you and it will come back. And she says to me, you've been doing that with the inheritance. I'm dealing with 17 brothers and sisters who hate my guts. I'm the youngest one trying to deal with the inheritance of my father from Mexico. And till this day, it's been since 2014, we're still going. And that has been my distraction or my story so that I can be distracted from me being successful. I said, it is what it is, babe. Let it go. I talked to my client again. This was, as I mentioned 2 days ago, I said, isn't it funny, man, that guy charged you that much money for the LOI? You want me to send him an email and tell him like, hey, bro, can you keep that as a credit? So whenever we buy another hangar, we can use his services. He's like, he calls me Alex, by the way. Alex, don't look into the details. You're looking at the details. Alex K yesterday told me, why are you looking at the details, man? And it just keeps resonating with me. Sometimes we get stuck on the stupidest things of how to do an CMA. Send out a postcard. I don't like the font. And thank you, Alex, for that. It's giving me that wake-up call. I'm like, that's right, dude. I'm not a fucking publisher. I'm not a computer guy. And what I know how to do is connect with people. So I get this famous call from this client that I'm trying to create the momentum here. And he says, man, I just want to tell you something. I don't care about paying that money. It will come back. It's no big deal. But you know what? I appreciate what you did for me. And I know you were doing it for $0. You've been talking to me about creating the cash flow, bro. Let's open up a corporation, you and I. I'm going to throw a couple $100,000. You know what? Let me do this. I'll put $500,000 and the company will be under your name and my name. Play with it. Find me some cash flow investments. Let's go on at halves. Wow. I'm like,
1, 2, 3.
Boom!
1, 2, 3.
Boom!
1, 2, 3.
Boom! So I called my wife and I'm like, babe, you know what happened with this guy, blah, 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 blah? Told the whole story. Corporation, he'll put $500,000 on it. I'll find the cash flow deals and we'll go halves. She's like, oh my God, that is great news.